Cosmic collision. The night sky over New Mexico erupted in a brilliant flash of purple and green, momentarily turning darkness into day. Dr. Samantha Reeves, hunched over her telescope at the Sunspot Solar Observatory, jerked back in surprise. Her eyes, accustomed to peering into the depths of space, struggled to adjust to the sudden burst of light. "What in the world?" she muttered, fumbling for her datapad. The observatory's sensors were going haywire, registering energy signatures unlike anything she'd ever seen. As an astrophysicist specializing in extraterrestrial phenomena, Samantha had always hoped for a moment like this. But now that it was happening, a mix of excitement and fear coursed through her veins. The light show lasted only seconds, followed by an eerie silence. Then, a low rumble began to build, growing into a deafening roar. Samantha rushed outside, her heart pounding. A streak of fire tore across the sky, leaving a trail of iridescent smoke in its wake. Whatever it was big, and it was coming down fast. The object crashed into the desert with a thunderous impact, sending tremors through the earth. Samantha didn't hesitate. She jumped into her beat-up Jeep and sped towards the crash site, her scientific curiosity overriding any sense of caution. As she approached, the air grew thick with an acrid, metallic smell. Through the settling dust, she could make out a sleek, silver craft unlike any human-made vehicle. Its hull was smooth and seamless, with no visible joints or rivets. Despite the violence of its landing, the craft appeared largely intact. Samantha's hand trembled as she reached for her phone to call it in. But before she could dial, a section of the craft's hull shimmered and dissolved, revealing a dark opening. She froze, her finger hovering over the screen. A figure emerged, stumbling and disoriented. In the dim light of the desert night, Samantha could make out a vaguely humanoid shape, but with proportions all wrong. It was tall and lithe, with skin that seemed to shimmer like oil on water. As it stepped into the moonlight, Samantha gasped. The being's eyes were huge and multifaceted, reflecting the starlight like living gems. The alien, for there was no doubt that's what it was, took a few unsteady steps before collapsing to the ground. Without thinking, Samantha rushed forward. Years of scientific detachment melted away in the face of a being clearly in distress. As she approached, the alien's head snapped up, those mesmerizing eyes locking onto her. A voice echoed in Samantha's mind, not heard but felt, resonating through her very bones. "Help, please." The words were in perfect English, but carried an otherworldly timbre that sent shivers down Samantha's spine. She knelt beside the alien, her training as a field medic kicking in. "I'm here to help," she said, trying to keep her voice steady. "Can you tell me where you're hurt?" The alien's form shimmered, and for a moment, Samantha thought it might be some kind of hologram. But as she reached out, her hand met solid, warm flesh. The alien flinched at her touch, then relaxed. "Not hurt," the voice in her mind said. "Drained. The jump. Unexpected." Samantha's scientific mind raced. Jump? As in some kind of faster-than-light travel? The implications were staggering, but there were more pressing matters at hand. "We need to get you out of here," Samantha said, glancing nervously at the sky. It wouldn't be long before others arrived to investigate the crash, and she had a feeling that government agencies would be far less welcoming to this unexpected visitor. The alien seemed to sense her urgency. With visible effort, it pushed itself up, leaning heavily on Samantha for support. Up close, she could see that what she had mistaken for skin was actually a fine, shimmering exoskeleton. The alien's touch sent tiny electrical pulses through her, not unpleasant but definitely foreign. "My ship," the alien said, gesturing weakly towards the craft. "Cannot leave it." Samantha bit her lip. There was no way she could move something that size on her own, but leaving it here wasn't an option either. She was about to explain this when the alien raised a hand, touching her forehead gently. In an instant, Samantha's mind was flooded with images and sensations. She saw stars rushing by at impossible speeds, felt the thrill of discovery and the pain of loss. She saw a world of crystal spires and singing oceans. then watched as it crumbled under the assault of a merciless armada. Through it all, a sense of desperate flight, of a mission too important to fail. As quickly as it began, the flood of information ceased. Samantha staggered, her mind reeling from the alien's memories. She understood now. This wasn't just a lost traveler. This was a refugee, carrying secrets that could reshape the galaxy. "I'm Zaxxillian," the alien said, its mental voice stronger now. "My people, gone. But their legacy, their technology, I carry it all. It must not fall into the wrong hands." Samantha nodded, a plan already forming in her mind. "I'm Samantha, and I think I know how we can save your ship and get you somewhere safe. But you'll have to trust me." Zaxxillian's multifaceted eyes seemed to soften. "You've shown me kindness when you could have shown fear. I will trust you, Samantha of Earth." With renewed urgency, Samantha helped Zaxxillian to her jeep. As they drove away from the crash site, she outlined her plan. The observatory had a large radio telescope that could be modified to emit a focused electromagnetic pulse. If they could generate a pulse strong enough, it might be possible to short out any tracking devices on the ship, making it invisible to conventional sensors. As for moving the ship, well, that's where Zaxxillian's advanced technology came in. The alien explained that the craft was equipped with a form of anti-gravity drive. If they could reactivate it, Samantha could tow the ship to a secure location using her jeep. It was a crazy plan, fraught with risks. If they were caught, Samantha would likely be arrested for treason, and who knew what would happen to Zaxxillian? But as she glanced at her alien passenger, taking in the quiet dignity and the weight of an entire civilization's hopes, Samantha knew she had no choice. As they crested a hill, the lights of approaching vehicles became visible in the distance. Samantha pressed down on the accelerator, her heart racing. She had always dreamed of making first contact, of being part of humanity's first steps into a larger galactic community. But she never imagined it would happen like this, in a mad dash through the desert with the fate of worlds hanging in the balance. Zaxxillian placed a hand on her arm, sending a wave of calm through her. "Whatever happens," the alien said, "know that you have already changed the course of history. Your kindness, your willingness to help a stranger from the stars, it gives me hope for your species and for the future of the galaxy." Samantha smiled, a fierce determination settling over her. They still had a long night ahead, full of dangers and impossible tasks. But in that moment, she felt ready to take on the universe itself. Together, human and alien, they would forge a new path among the stars. As the jeep sped towards the observatory, leaving a trail of dust in the cool desert night, neither Samantha nor Zaxxillian could have imagined the adventure that awaited them. That chance encounter would spark a chain of events that would challenge the foundations of human society, rewrite the laws of physics, and ultimately reshape the very fabric of the cosmos. But for now, they focused on the immediate task at hand, staying one step ahead of those who would seek to separate them, and finding a way to preserve the legacy of a lost civilization. As the first hints of dawn began to color the eastern sky, Samantha and Zaxxillian prepared to take their first steps on a journey that would carry them beyond the stars and into legend. Quantum bonds and neon rebellions. As the first rays of dawn painted the New Mexico sky in hues of lavender and gold, Dr. Samantha Reeves and her alien companion, Zaxxillian, huddled in the basement of the Sunspot Solar Observatory. The air hummed with the barely contained energy of improvised machines and alien technology. Quantum entanglements stabilized, Samantha muttered, her fingers flying over a jury-rigged control panel. "Zax, how's the chronoton flow?" Zaxxillian's multifaceted eyes flickered with bioluminescent patterns, their equivalent of a frown. "Chronoton density is fluctuating. We need more power to maintain the temporal bubble." In the hours since their daring escape from the crash site, the unlikely duo had been working feverishly to create a device unprecedented in human science, a time dilation field. It was their only hope of buying enough time to repair Zaxxillian's ship before the authorities closed in. Samantha wiped sweat from her brow, leaving a streak of luminescent alien fluid across her forehead. "We're rewriting physics on a napkin here, Zax. Cut us some slack." A series of rapid beats from Samantha's modified phone interrupted their banter. "Proximity alert," she hissed. "Someone's coming." Zaxlian's form shimmered, that exoskeleton adapting to blend with the shadows. "I will conceal myself. You must misdirect them, Samantha." With a nod, Samantha rushed upstairs, her mind racing to concoct a plausible story. She emerged from the observatory just as a sleek black SUV pulled up, its tinted windows radiating an aura of government secrecy. Two men in crisp suits stepped out, their expressions a careful blank. "Dr. Reeves?" the taller one asked. "I'm Agent Donovan. This is Agent Chen. We're with a specialized division of the government. We'd like to ask you a few questions about last night's meteor event." Samantha forced a smile, channeling every ounce of her inner actress. "Of course, agents. Though I'm afraid there's not much to tell. It was quite a light show, but nothing out of the ordinary for a bolide of that size." Agent Chen's eyes narrowed. "Our instruments detected some unusual energy signatures. We'd like to take a look around, if you don't mind." "Actually, I do mind," Samantha said, crossing her arms. "This is a delicate research facility. I can't have you stomping around and disrupting our ongoing experiments. If you'd like to schedule an official visit, you'll need to go through the proper channels." The agents exchanged glances, a silent conversation passing between them. Samantha's heart thundered in her chest, but she kept her expression neutral. Finally, Agent Donovan spoke. "We'll be in touch, Dr. Reeves. In the meantime, if you notice anything out of the ordinary, please don't hesitate to contact us." He handed her a business card with nothing but a phone number printed on it. As the SUV pulled away, Samantha let out a shaky breath. She bought them some time, but she knew it wouldn't be long before they returned with a warrant. Back in the basement, Zaxlian emerged from the shadows. "Your species has a remarkable capacity for deception," they observed, a hint of admiration in their telepathic voice. Samantha chuckled. "We call it acting, and right now, it's keeping us both alive. Come on, we need to finish this time dilation field before they come back." Over the next few hours, human ingenuity and alien knowledge fused in a dazzling display of cross-species collaboration. Samantha's understanding of theoretical physics expanded exponentially as Zaxlian introduced concepts that wouldn't be discovered by humans for centuries. As the final connections were made, the air in the basement began to shimmer and distort. Samantha checked her instruments, her eyes widening in disbelief. "Zax, we did it. 1 hour in here will be just a minute out there. We've created a temporal bubble." Zaxlian's exoskeleton rippled with patterns of joy and relief. "Exceptional work, Samantha. Now, we must use this gift of time wisely." With the pressure of imminent discovery temporarily lifted, they turned their attention to repairing Zaxlian's ship. Samantha marveled at the advanced technology, her scientist's mind buzzing with questions and possibilities. "Your ship's propulsion system," she said, examining a crystalline structure that pulsed with inner light. "It doesn't just bend space. It surfs quantum probabilities." Zaxlian's mental voice carried a note of pride. "Yes, we call it the probability drive. It allows us to navigate the multiverse, choosing the reality where we arrive at our destination instantly." As they worked, Zaxlian shared more about their civilization and the calamity that had befallen it. The Xandri, Zaxlian's people, had been peaceful explorers and scientists, but their advanced technology had attracted the attention of the Void Consortium, a coalition of warlike species bent on galactic domination. "The Consortium destroyed our worlds," Zaxlian said, their mental voice heavy with sorrow. "But they could not steal our greatest achievements. The sum of our knowledge, our art, our very essence, it's all contained within this ship. I'm the last of the Gandri, tasked with finding a safe haven for our legacy." Samantha felt the weight of that responsibility settle on her shoulders. "Well, they'll have to go through me to get to you," she said fiercely. As the hours stretched on within their temporal bubble, Samantha and Zaxalian's bond deepened. They shared stories of their worlds, compared philosophies, and marveled at the strange parallels between their species. Despite their vast differences, they found a kindred spirit in each other, two scientists driven by an insatiable curiosity about the universe. But their progress came at a cost. The energy required to maintain the time dilation field was enormous, and the jury-rigged equipment was beginning to fail. "We're experiencing temporal fractures," Zaxian warned, their bioluminescent patterns pulsing with urgency. "If we don't stabilize the field soon, the chronoton buildup could cause a localized time implosion." Samantha's mind raced. What if we reverse the polarity of the quantum flux? It might create a cascading effect that wooled. Her words were cut off by a deafening crack. The air itself seemed to split open, revealing swirling vortexes of color and light. Through the temporal rifts, Samantha caught glimpses of impossible things, soaring crystal cities, vast starships, and creatures that defied description. "The multiverse," Zaxalian breathed. "Our meddling has torn the veil between realities." As alarms blared and equipment sparked around them, Samantha made a split-second decision. "Zax, we need to get to your ship, now." They raced through the chaos, dodging arcs of temporal energy and shifting patches of distorted space-time. Just as they reached a concealed alien craft, a massive tremor shook the observatory. "Time implosion imminent," Zaxalian warned. "We must leave immediately." Samantha hesitated for a heartbeat, her old life flashing before her eyes. But as she looked at Zaxalian, she knew there was no turning back. This was her chance to explore the cosmos, to unravel the mysteries of the universe alongside a being of incredible knowledge and compassion. "Let's go save the galaxy," she said with a grin. As Zaxalian's ship rose silently into the air, the sunspot observatory collapsed in on itself, consumed by a swirling vortex of time and space. To outside observers, it would appear as if the facility had simply vanished, leaving behind a perfect hemispherical crater. Cloaked from human senses, the ship accelerated towards the stars. Earth dwindled behind them, a blue marble suspended in the velvet black of space. Samantha felt a pang of sadness for the life she was leaving behind, but it was quickly overshadowed by the thrill of the unknown that lay ahead. "Where to?" she asked, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Zaxalian's mental voice was filled with warmth and gratitude. "First, we find a safe haven for my people's legacy. Then, we have a void consortium to overthrow." As the ship engaged its probability drive, reality itself seemed to bend around them. In a flash of quantum possibility, they'd vanished from Earth's solar system, leaving behind a world on the brink of a new era, one that would be shaped by the echoes of their impossible encounter. Little did Samantha know that her impulsive decision to help a stranded alien would spark a rebellion that would resonate across the cosmos, challenging the very foundations of galactic society. The adventure of a lifetime awaited, filled with daring escapes, mind-bending scientific discoveries, and the forging of alliances that would transcend the boundaries of species and space-time itself. The universe would never be the same, all because one human chose compassion over fear and dared to reach for the stars, neon nebulas and quantum rebels. The probability drive hummed with ethereal energy as Zaxalian's ship emerged from the quantum foam, materializing in a dazzling nebula of swirling neon gases. Samantha gasped, her eyes wide with wonder at the cosmic light show before her. "Welcome to the Chroma Nexus," Zaxalian's mental voice resonated with pride. "A celestial crossroads where realities blur and possibilities collide." Samantha's scientific mind raced to comprehend the scene. "It's like a cosmic rave meets a supernova. How is this possible?" "Quantum harmonics," Zaxalian explained, their exoskeleton shimmering in sync with the nebula's pulsing hues. "The nexus is a natural phenomenon where multiple dimensions overlap, creating a haven for those seeking to escape oppressive regimes across the multiverse." As they navigated through ribbons of luminescent stardust, Samantha noticed strange structures floating in the void, a hodgepodge of alien architectures fused with cutting-edge technology from 1,000 worlds. The Neon Flotilla, Zaxlian said, anticipating her question. A refuge for rebels, renegades, and revolutionary thinkers from across the cosmos. If we're to stand against the Void Consortium, this is where we'll find our allies. They docked at a massive space station that seemed to be built from the hollowed-out husk of an ancient leviathan. Bioluminescent veins pulsed along its organic surface, guiding them to an airlock. "Stay close," Zaxlian warned as they disembarked. "The flotilla operates on its own rules. Trust no one completely, but keep an open mind. You're about to experience true galactic diversity." Samantha nodded, her hand instinctively reaching for the alien alloy pendant Zaxlian had crafted for her. It served as both a universal translator and a personal shield generator, a necessary precaution in this lawless frontier of space. As they entered the station's main concourse, Samantha's senses were assaulted by a cacophony of sights, sounds, and smells beyond human comprehension. Creatures of impossible geometries haggled with energy beings over glowing cubes of distilled imagination. A group of what appeared to be sentient plants engaged in a heated debate with floating crystals, their argument causing localized reality distortions. "This is incredible," Samantha breathed, her scientist's mind struggling to categorize the wonders around her. Earth's governments would implode if they knew this existed. Zaxlian's mental tone carried a hint of amusement. "Perhaps one day your species will be ready to join this grand cosmic dance. But for now, we have more pressing concerns." They made their way to a dimly lit establishment called the Event Horizon. Inside, holographic star charts flickered on the walls, and patrons of various species huddled in booths, speaking in hushed tones. At the bar, a being that seemed to be made of living shadow and starlight turned to face them. "Ah, Adzandri," it exclaimed, its voice like the whisper of solar winds. "We thought your kind extinct. And you've brought a human. How delightfully improbable." "Nebula Nova," Zaxlian greeted the bartender. "We seek information on the Void Consortium's movements and potential allies against them." The shadowy being's form rippled with concern. "Dark times, my friend. The Consortium grows bolder by the day. They've begun harvesting entire realities of energy, collapsing alternate timelines to fuel their war machines." Samantha felt a chill run down her spine. "That's monstrous. How can we stop them?" Nebula Nova's starry eyes fixed on her with newfound interest. "Perhaps the question, young human, is how can you help us stop them? The Consortium fears the unpredictable, the improbable, and what could be more improbable than a human standing against them?" Before they could delve deeper, the station shuddered violently. Alarm klaxons blared as panic erupted in the concourse. "Void Consortium," a multi-voice being shouted. They found the nexus. Chaos ensued as patrons rushed to evacuate. Samantha and Zaxlian sprinted back to their ship, dodging fleeing aliens and debris. "We can't leave these people to die," Samantha insisted as they reached the airlock. Zaxlian's exoskeleton pulsed with determination. "We won't. The Exandri were peacekeepers as well as scientists. It's time I honored that legacy." With a series of rapid mental commands, Zaxlian interfaced with the ship's systems. The vessel's hull began to shift and expand, revealing hidden weapon arrays and energy projectors. "Probability torpedoes armed," Zaxlian announced. "Quantum shield grid online. Samantha, I need you on the reality phase inverter. We're going to show the Consortium why they should fear the improbable." As they launched into the fray, Samantha marveled at the ship's transformation. What once seemed like a simple escape pod was now a formidable battlecruiser, bristling with technology beyond her wildest dreams. The space around the Chroma Nexus was a maelstrom of energy weapons and reality-warping explosions. Void Consortium ships, brutal, angular vessels that seemed to devour light, pressed their attack against the Ragtag Flotilla Defense Force. Samantha's hands flew over the controls of the phase inverter, her mind expanding to grasp concepts that would revolutionize physics back on Earth. With each adjustment, their ship seemed to flicker between realities, becoming momentarily intangible as enemy fire passed harmlessly through them. Zaxxlian, meanwhile, orchestrated their counterattack with the precision of a cosmic conductor. Probability torpedoes phased into existence microseconds before impact, bypassing enemy shields. Quantum tethers reached across space-time, entangling consortium ships and causing them to collide with alternate versions of themselves. In the midst of the chaos, Samantha had an epiphany. Zax, the nebula, its quantum harmonics. If we can amplify them, understanding flowed between them, their minds linked by shared purpose and the heat of battle. With a series of deft maneuvers, they positioned their ship at the heart of the chroma nexus. Diverting all power to the reality phase inverter, Zaxxlian announced, "Samantha, on my mark, initiate a full-spectrum quantum cascade." Time seemed to slow as Samantha's hand hovered over the activation panel. In that moment, she saw infinite possibilities branching out before them, realities where they failed, where they succeeded, where the very fabric of space-time unraveled. She chose hope. The cascade erupted from their ship in a dazzling wave of prismatic energy. The chroma nexus itself seemed to come alive, its swirling gases coalescing into vast, sentient patterns. Reality buckled and warped as probability itself rebelled against the Void Consortium's oppressive certainty. Consortium ships twisted and folded in on themselves, caught in the grip of impossibility. Some simply winked out of existence, while others merged with alternate versions, becoming monstrous, paradoxical things that fled in terror from their own contradictory nature. As quickly as it began, the battle was over. The remaining consortium forces retreated, leaving behind a graveyard of probability wreckage and quantum debris. Cheers erupted across all frequencies as the flotilla celebrated their improbable victory. Samantha slumped in her chair, drained but exhilarated. "That," she said with a breathless laugh, "was the most incredible thing I've ever experienced." Zaxxlian's mental voice was warm with affection and respect. "You've only scratched the surface, my dear Samantha. Together, we've changed the course of this reality. Imagine what we could do for the entire multiverse." As they docked once more with the flotilla station, now abuzz with revolutionary fervor, Samantha knew that her life would never be the same. She had transcended the boundaries of her species, her reality, and her own limitations. A delegation of diverse alien leaders awaited them, eyes and sensory organs gleaming with hope and admiration. Nebula Nova floated at the forefront, its starry form radiant with excitement. "The Quantum Rebels," the shadowy bartender proclaimed. "That's what they're calling you. The improbable duo who defied the Void Consortium and lived to tell the tale." Samantha and Zaxxlian exchanged a glance, a universe of understanding passing between them. "So," Samantha said with a grin, her eyes sparkling with the reflected light of 1,000,000,000 possible futures, "who's ready to rewrite the laws of reality?" As the assembled aliens cheered, Samantha felt the weight of destiny settling upon her shoulders. She was no longer just a human scientist, she was a cosmic revolutionary, armed with knowledge that could reshape the very fabric of existence. The battle at the chroma nexus was only the beginning. With Zaxxlian by her side and an army of improbability at their backs, Samantha knew that they stood a chance against the Void Consortium's tyranny. Somewhere in the quantum phone between realities, the universe itself seemed to hold its breath, waiting to see what this unlikely pair would do next. The age of quantum rebels had begun, and nothing would ever be the same again. Memetic warfare and the viral rebellion. The quantum wake of their victory at the chroma nexus rippled across the multiverse, igniting sparks of hope in oppressed civilizations and sending shockwaves through the Void Consortium's iron grip on reality. Samantha and Zaxxlian, now celebrated as the Quantum Rebels, found themselves at the center of a galactic revolution unlike any other. "We need to weaponize our story," Samantha mused, pacing the holographic war room aboard their newly christened ship, the Probability Surfer. "Turn our victory into a rallying cry that transcends species and realities." Zaxalian's exoskeleton shimmered with intrigue. You're suggesting mimetic warfare on a cosmic scale. Fascinating. Their unlikely team had grown. Nebula Nova, the living embodiment of starlight and shadow, served as their strategist. A hive mind of quantum-entangled nanobots called the Swarm Collective handled their cyber warfare. And Echo, a being of pure sound waves who could manipulate the fundamental frequencies of reality, rounded out their inner circle. Humans have a gift for viral ideas, Samantha explained, her eyes gleaming with inspiration. We call them memes. With the right combination of emotion, humor, and universal truth, we can create a message that spreads faster than any consortium censorship. Echo's form vibrated with excitement, their voice a harmony of possibility. We could encode the meme into the cosmic background radiation itself. Every star, every planet would become a broadcaster for our cause. The Swarm Collective buzzed with approval, their trillion voices speaking as one. We can infect the consortium's neural networks with doubt, plant seeds of rebellion in their probability engines. Nebula Nova's starry form pulsed thoughtfully. But we must be cautious. The consortium's reality stabilizers will try to snuff out any anomalous ideas. We need a meme so powerful, so fundamentally true, that it becomes an immutable law of nature itself. Samantha closed her eyes, drawing on everything she'd learned about the universe since leaving Earth. The mathematical beauty of quantum mechanics, the awe-inspiring vastness of space, the delicate balance of forces that allowed reality to exist, all of it swirled in her mind, coalescing into a singular concept. Her eyes snapped open. I've got it. The ultimate meme, the idea that will unravel the consortium's power. She grabbed a light pen and began scrawling equations and diagrams in the air, her movements frenzied with creative energy. Zaxalian's multifaceted eyes widened as they grasped the implications. Samantha, they breathed, their mental voice filled with wonder. This is revolutionary. You've unified quantum theory with mimetic propagation and the fundamental nature of consciousness itself. The others gathered around, marveling at the elegance of the formula. It was beautiful in its simplicity, yet profound in its implications. At its core was a truth so self-evident that once seen, it could never be unseen. Reality itself was a collaborative fiction, and every conscious being was a co-author of the cosmic story. We'll call it the consensus equation, Samantha declared. It proves that the act of observation doesn't just affect reality, it creates it. And the more minds that believe in a possibility, the more real it becomes. Echo thrummed with excitement. This changes everything. If we can make enough beings understand and believe in this equation, we can literally rewrite the laws of physics through sheer collective will. Nebula Nova finished, their starlight eyes blazing. The Swarm Collective vibrated at a frequency that made reality itself shudder. We must disseminate this knowledge immediately. Every network system, every quantum particle, every fold of space-time will carry our message. Zaxalian placed a comforting hand on Samantha's shoulder, sensing her momentary hesitation. You've given the universe a gift, Samantha. The power to shape its own destiny. She nodded, squaring her shoulders. Then let's light the fuse on this reality bomb. It's time for the multiverse to wake up. What followed was a campaign of mimetic warfare on a scale never before imagined. The consensus equation was encoded into pulsars, hidden in the spin of electrons, whispered in the songs of gas giants, and woven into the very fabric of space-time. Across 1 billion realities, beings of every conceivable form and consciousness began to question the immutability of their existence. Rigid laws of physics became malleable. Impossibilities became mere improbabilities, waiting to be believed into existence. The Void Consortium fought back with every weapon in their considerable arsenal. Reality stabilizers worked overtime, probability dampeners strained to maintain the status quo, and thought police scoured the quantum foam for signs of anomalous ideation. But it was too late. The meme had achieved critical mass. On a desert planet orbiting a dying star, a child's belief in water caused oceans to spring into existence overnight. In the heart of a supermassive black hole, a colony of light-eating fungi decided that entropy was merely a suggestion, reversing the flow of time in their local space-time. Entire civilizations that had been erased from history by the consortium's temporal manipulations suddenly popped back into existence, their collective memory too strong to be denied. The probability surfer and its crew surfed the wavefront of this reality revolution, nudging it in positive directions and defending newborn realities from consortium incursions. They became legends, mythical figures whose very names were imbued with the power to reshape worlds. But their greatest battle was yet to come. As the multiverse convulsed with the throes of rebirth, the Void Consortium played its final desperate card. Alarms blared throughout the probability surfer as reality itself seemed to scream in agony. Samantha and her team rushed to the bridge, their faces grim with determination. "They've activated the nullifier," Zaxlian announced, their mental voice heavy with dread. A weapon capable of resetting the entire multiverse to a state of absolute zero probability. Every possibility, every dream, every defiant act of creation, all of it will be undone. Samantha's mind raced, calculating possibilities faster than any computer. "Then we give them infinity," she said, her voice ringing with the power of absolute conviction. "We become the ultimate expression of the consensus equation." Understanding flowed between them, a plan taking shape that transcended the need for words. As one, they joined hands, and appendages, and energy fields, their consciousness merging into a singular point of infinite potential. The probability surfer accelerated to reality-shredding speeds, aimed straight at the heart of the nullifier. As they approached, Samantha felt her individual identity dissolving, becoming one with the very concept of possibility itself. In the final moment before impact, a thought echoed through their collective consciousness, not in words, but in the purest expression of defiant hope. "We choose infinite possibility." The nullifier detonated, its wave of absolute zero probability expanding outward. But at the center of the maelstrom stood an impossibility, a being of pure quantum potential, fueled by the collective will of countless realities. Samantha/Zaxlian/Echo/Nebula Nova/Swarm Collective/Infinity stood firm against the void, a singular point of yes against an overwhelming no. And in that moment, as all of reality held its breath, they made a choice. They chose everything. The multiverse exploded into infinite fractal possibilities, each more wondrous than the last. The Void Consortium's rigid tyranny shattered against the unyielding bedrock of infinite creative potential. When the quantum dust settled, Samantha found herself back on the bridge of the probability surfer, surrounded by her friends. But they were all forever changed, touched by the infinite and reborn as something new. "Did we win?" she asked, her voice carrying echoes of 1,000,000,000,000 realities. Zaxlian's multifaceted eyes sparkled with joy and wonder. "My dear Samantha, we did more than win. We set the multiverse free." As they looked out at the swirling, prismatic beauty of infinite possibility, Samantha knew that their greatest adventure was just beginning. The quantum rebels had given every being in existence the power to write their own story. And oh, what stories they would tell! Cosmic influencers and the multiverse metaverse. The aftermath of the quantum rebels' victory over the Void Consortium rippled across realities, giving birth to an entirely new paradigm of existence. Samantha, Zaxlian, and their team found themselves at the epicenter of a multiversal renaissance, where the lines between thought, reality, and digital space blurred into a dazzling tapestry of infinite possibility. "Welcome to the multiverse metaverse," Samantha announced, her voice carrying the weight of 1,000,000,000,000 realities as she addressed a gathering of beings from across the quantum foam. "Where every mind is a universe, and every idea is a world waiting to be born." The probability surfer had transformed into a nexus of creation, a floating citadel of pure potential that served as both a cosmic lighthouse and a multidimensional social media hub. Beings of all shapes, sizes, and states of matter flocked to this beacon of innovation, eager to shape the new reality. Zaxlion, though exoskeleton now a swirling galaxy of bioluminescent possibility, chimed in. The age of rigid physics and immutable laws is over. We've entered an era of collaborative reality crafting. Imagine it, and it can be. Samantha couldn't help but grin at the absurdity and wonder of it all. Who would have thought that her human understanding of viral content and meme culture would become the foundation for a new cosmic order? The Swarm Collective, now expanded to encompass entire solar systems, buzzed with excitement. We've developed a new platform called RealityGram. Users can upload, share, and remix entire pocket universes. The most popular creations automatically expand and integrate into the broader multiverse. Echo, their form now a symphony of visible sound waves, demonstrated by humming a complex melody. The air shimmered, and a miniature galaxy sprung into existence, its spiral arms swaying in time with a cosmic tune. Meme magic has become literal magic, Nebula Nova observed, their starlight eyes twinkling with amusement. We're seeing the rise of cosmic influencers, beings whose ideas are so compelling that they reshape entire sectors of reality around them. As if on cue, a notification chimed throughout the metaverse. Trending now. Gravity Surfing Challenge. Ride the waves of warped spacetime across 1,000 black holes. Don't forget to use #EventHorizonShredder. Samantha laughed, marveling at how quickly the denizens of the multiverse had adapted to this new paradigm. It's like TikTok meets the Big Bang. We've turned the cosmos into the ultimate creative platform. But with great power came great responsibility. As the team watched the metaverse bloom with infinite creativity, they also saw the potential for chaos and conflict. We need to establish some ground rules, Zaxlion mused, their mental voice tinged with concern. A cosmic terms of service, if you will. Otherwise, we risk reality becoming an endless stream of cat videos and dancing quasars. Samantha nodded, her expression turning serious. You're right. We've given every being the power to shape reality. We need to make sure that power is used responsibly. And so, the Quantum Rebels set about creating the Universal Community Guidelines, a living document that evolved in real time based on the collective wisdom and experiences of trillions of minds across the multiverse. Key tenets included: do no harm. Creations should not infringe on the free will or well-being of other conscious entities. Respect narrative causality. While reality is mutable, actions should still have consequences. No retconning personal history to avoid responsibility. Credit your sources. When remixing or building upon someone else's reality, always attribute the original creator. No spam realities. Creating infinite copies of yourself to boost your cosmic influence is strictly prohibited. Maintain quantum diversity. Actively seek out and amplify underrepresented voices and realities. As the guidelines took shape, a new challenge emerged. Rogue elements of the defeated Void Consortium had gone underground, rebranding themselves as reality purists. They sought to undermine the new cosmic order, spreading disinformation and trying to revert sectors of the multiverse to a state of rigid, unchanging laws. We're seeing an uptick in what we're calling reality trolls, Echo reported, their harmonious voice distorted with concern. They're creating pocket universes of pure chaos and trying to merge them with stable realities. Samantha's eyes narrowed with determination. Then we fight fire with fire. Or in this case, memes with memes. It's time to launch Operation Wholesome Quantum. What followed was a multiversal campaign of positivity and creative problem-solving. The Quantum Rebels and their growing network of cosmic influencers seeded the metaverse with kindness kernels, quantum packets of pure, infectious goodwill that could transform even the most chaotic realities into beacons of cooperation and mutual understanding. They organized reality cleanup challenges, gamifying the process of stabilizing turbulent regions of the multiverse. Beings from across existence competed to see who could bring the most harmony to war-torn dimensions or breathe new life into dying universes. The Swarm Collective developed empathy engines, AI constructs that could instantly translate emotional states across species, dimensions, and states of matter. Suddenly, a being of pure energy could understand the struggles of a silicon-based life form, fostering unprecedented levels of cosmic cooperation. As their efforts gained momentum, Samantha and Zaxlian found themselves becoming multiversal celebrities. Their love story, the tale of a human scientist and an alien exile who reshaped reality itself, became the stuff of legend, inspiring countless civilizations to reach across the divides of space, time, and dimensionality. "We've become a multiversal power couple," Samantha mused, half amused and half overwhelmed by the attention. "I never thought I'd see my face on a quantum billboard visible from a trillion realities." Zaxlian's mental voice carried a hint of playful sarcasm. "Just wait until they start making alternate reality fanfiction about us. The multiverse isn't ready for 50 shades of spacetime." As they shared a laugh, alert chimed throughout the probability surfer. Nebula Nova's starry form coalesced, their expression urgent. "We're detecting a massive anomaly at the edges of known existence. Something is pressing against the boundaries of our multiverse from outside." The team rushed to the reality observation deck, their eyes widening at the sight before them. At the very fringes of that infinite creation, a swirling maelstrom of impossible colors and mind-bending geometries pulsed with otherworldly energy. "What is it?" Samantha breathed, her scientist's mind reeling at the implications. Zaxlian's multifaceted eyes gleamed with a mixture of fear and excitement. "I believe, my dear, that we've attracted the attention of something beyond even our understanding. The metaverse has become so vibrant, so alive with possibility, that it's caught the eye of the omniverse." As the team stood at the precipice of an even greater adventure, Samantha felt a thrill of excitement course through her. They had reshaped reality itself, turned the multiverse into a playground of infinite creativity. And now they faced the ultimate challenge, first contact with a realm beyond even their vast understanding. "Well then," she said, a smile of pure wonder spreading across her face, "I guess it's time for the quantum rebels to become the Omniverse ambassadors. Who's ready to remix reality on an even grander scale?" As the probability surfer prepared to dive into the unknown, the metaverse hummed with anticipation. The greatest crossover event in the history of existence was about to begin, and every being in every reality held their breath, waiting to see what wonders and challenges this new chapter would bring. The saga of Samantha, Zaxlian, and that unlikely team of cosmic revolutionaries had transcended mere storytelling. They had become the authors of reality itself, and the next page was about to turn.